real estate agents. Welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host, Joey Sampaga. You all know him as the man with the plan. How are you doing today, Joey?
Ready to boogie.
Ready to boogie?
Do it.
All right. Oh, yeah. Here we go. We've got an amazing guest with us, back with us, actually.
Yes.
Returning guest, Omar Robles.
Omar.
Designated broker owner of neXGen Real Estate. How are you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Awesome.
Good. Amazing. It might be too much, but yeah. But I appreciate it, though.
You guys are amazing. I mean, last time we
Appreciate it.
spoke with you, you doubled your brokerage.
We did. It's been a good
More
year.
than double.
Yeah, it's been a good year. We've had some expansion, and it's been. And I throw this word around because I was an urban planning major. It's been a sustainable growth. Nothing too, crazy, but it's been pretty consistent. So yeah.
That's good, man. That's good. So why don't we refresh the agents that are listening, or maybe they didn't see your original one, but why don't we first start off with, what got you into real estate?
What got me into real estate? It something like most people would tell you. It's not something that at least that I planned. It just kind of happened. I had I was in the Army for 4 years, 101st Airborne Division. I like to give my guys props because that was just an experience that pretty much shaped me, and I really do believe those lessons learned at that point in life are things I still carry with me every day. So as far as how I got into the business, when I got home, I had saved up quite a bit of leave, so I actually got out about a month early. So I called my aunt, who I was closest with, and I wanted to have lunch with her. She came and picked me up, and as we're driving out to lunch, I noticed that she always took care of herself, but I noticed that she was just extra dressed up. And she always did her makeup. Beautiful woman, but she was just extra. So as we were talking, she told me that she left the restaurant business. She was always a manager at places like fast food industry. And I actually worked for her when I was in high school for about a year as a cashier. Felt like a year, maybe it was like 6 months. But anyhow, we went to lunch, and she told me of her new endeavor. She just started doing real estate. She had only been doing it for about 2 years, so I was gone during that time, but she was killing it. And this was a time when people were still faxing offers. The carbon copies were still used. And she was killing it. She was probably closing around 50, 60 transactions a month, and she was just hustling, just running around everywhere. And she took me to real estate school that same day. She enrolled me. I was like, okay, I guess I'll do it. I had just gotten home. I got home. I could have probably taken a few college classes if I wished, but it was already, it was already September, early September, so I didn't bother to do that. I just wanted to collect some unemployment and kind of just relax. I saved up enough money while I was deployed and whatnot, because you really can't spend money when you're deployed.
Yeah.
So I came home, had a little bit of money saved up, and I finished my real estate courses, and then I started at Arizona State University, go Devils, in January. So I was going to school full time, and it wasn't until 2005 when I started doing it full time.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of by accident as well.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. That's a good story. What about the Devils?
Oh,
Did you see that game?
Oh, I was there. Yeah, I was there. So
All right.
Sorry, guys, but I was there. Buddy of mine at start of the fourth quarter, he said, "Hey, it's done. It's over. Stick a fork in him." He said, "Let's go hang out somewhere and get some drinks." No, we're not leaving. I told him, we're going to stay. We're here in Tucson. We're going to stay. We're going to do it. And we did it. So it was a great game.
Yeah, we left the place and went down, got a bite to eat, and it was 40-24, I think. Yeah, and I was like, Well,
it was 40-21. Then
21
it was
maybe.
Then it was 40. We just inched closer. It was a heck of a comeback.
No, it was a great game. So what are you doing right now in real estate? I know you've grown the team this past year from in the 50s to over 100, so doubled the team size. What are you doing today? I know that there are a lot of people talking about the market changing a bit, maybe a slight shift going on, a little bit of slowdown. What are you guys doing to stay busy?
To stay busy, we keep doing the same thing. It's just a matter of leads. Again, just following up with the leads. People are still going to buy. People are still going to sell. And as the market shifts and the market changes, a lot of times we focus too much on those. It's going to happen. I've only been in real estate since 2003, well, full-time since '05. And I speak to the old timers who've been around longer than me, and it's just the market shifts. And at the end of the day, you just got to keep engaging, you got to keep working, you got to keep prospecting. There's very basic fundamentals in real estate to be successful.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, I believe we beat ourselves up trying to learn so many new things. And at the end of the day, and this is something we teach at my company, and it's something we just started doing just because of the growth and the identified need. So I hired a director of agent development who is a successful realtor himself. So we put all of our agents, if they wish, and especially new ones, through a coaching program. Because at the end of the day, you got to be able to prospect. So however the market shifts, we just have to stay on top of that as far as how we sell homes, how we write up purchase contracts, and we just have to go with the flow as far as will the dip happen? Of course. How bad will it be? I wish I knew. But at the end of the day, I still think we're still in a great market. So as far as rates, they've gone up a little bit, but just think about how spoiled we've become, right?
Yeah.
Since the crash.
Absolutely.
Rates are in the fives in most instances, and down payment people have a hard time accepting that. Oh, the rates are too high. Like, hey, that rate is still pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? But we've been spoiled over the past few years, and so I think as far as the market shifting, yeah, of course it's going to shift. But at the end of the day, we just have to keep prospecting. We got to keep working our CRMs, and we just got to keep digging for that gold.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so during the market shifts, we just need to put more work in.
Right.
A little bit more work in.
Just like when the market shifted last time, there were agents who just refused to do short sales and refused to do BPOs, and they kind of fell by the wayside. I know some of them came back into the business, but that's how I stayed in business, doing BPOs, doing short sales, and I just adapted to the market because housing is always a need.
Yeah.
Always.
I was going to say real estate is always good somewhere.
Right.
A part of real estate, whether it's a seller's market, a buyer's market, or BPOs and foreclosures, right? There's always something. Just being able to adapt is what we need to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. So do you see 2019 big plans to grow the team some more?
We are working on a number of things, and you have to. But the main thing for me is just not to get caught up into what my competitors are doing. Like, there's certain brokers that are monsters, and I'm not trying to compete with them. I'm only trying to do what I can do and what my company can do, what my partners can do. So as far as what we're doing, I think the main attraction, if you were to ask any of my agents who've been with me for a while, it comes down to that component of feeling like you belong to a family and feeling like you have support. Because you can go to an amazing brokerage, and sometimes they're so big that you don't have that support. And sometimes you join one of these teams that's so big that you don't have that support. And I think with us, we've been able to leverage our branch managers and myself, because the dynamic with me is I'm the broker owner, right? Which broker is going to care more about their company than somebody that owns it as well, right?
Yeah. Right.
So for me, I have that dynamic that I'm still able to offer, and it's just a great environment to be in, as far as an environment of nurturing, an environment of sharing. And that's one thing. You walk into any of our offices, which we have currently, well, we opened a 7th just because I had a new team join. So we opened up a branch office for them. So technically there's 7. And I can tell you 7 branch offices. 2 of those branch offices of the 7 are run by teams, but they're still available to all of our agents as well. And there's 5 offices that I'm directly involved in. You go into any one of those offices, and you're going to find people who are looking to network, who are looking to share information, and who are looking to grow their team. Because at the end of the day, for someone to become successful, you need to have that ability to make other people around you successful. And that's one of the components of neXGen real estate. I really do believe that, and I see it, and I witness it.
Yeah.
And my branch managers, everybody else is on board, and even We are working on a lot of stuff, Jeff, and the show is kind of too short. And and a lot of the things that we're doing as far as being able to prepare our agents, the programs that we have developed and that we continue to improve have to do with systemizing our agents.
Yeah.
Because so many agents that come from even other big brokers, ask them what CRM they have, and they're just like, and it's
Notepad.
And it's not that
A yellow notepad.
Well, and here's the thing, and it's not that the other brokerage, right, wherever they're at, isn't making this stuff available. They are.
Yeah.
But they don't have, a lot of times, they don't have the capacity to really monitor and follow up every single person. So that's one of the things that we do, is when somebody enters into that, we call it the DAD program, Director of Agent Development, so I shorten it up to DAD.
Nice.
And
Military
if
stuff.
there was a mom, right, a few other people, I'd have to figure out something with mom. Dad wouldn't sound right. But it's a program where we're able to monitor our agents once they go into our program, just setting them up with basic, just that foundation, that basic foundation. You have to be systemized. Mm-hmm. You got to have a CRM. If not, come on, you got to have it.
You need to have a CRM.
You got to have a website.
Important.
You absolutely need to have a website.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yep.
And you have to learn how to prospect. You got to be able to put that into your calendar. And then we do some coaching as well, as far as teaching agents how to create auto drip campaigns. Mm-hmm. And we're working on something right now to teach our agents how not to be afraid to make phone calls.
Sure.
Because and it's funny, I saw this on social media the other day. It was a post. It was on Instagram. And in this age of so many different lead generating tools and sites and everything, right? There was this post that said, this right here, telephone, is the single greatest invention in the industry. It's led to more sales, more closings than anything, but people yet seem to neglect this.
That's right.
So my point is, we're developing a program to teach our agents how not to be afraid to make those phone calls. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, we're just trying to have a conversation.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
If you go into that thinking just about your commission and about your money, then it's hard to develop, because in real estate, in my opinion, it's a business, but it's a very intimate business. Right? We're not selling pots and pans.
Nope.
No offense to anyone that does that.
It's a house.
Right. This is where we keep all of our secrets, right? You think about your home, about your house, right? When you step out of that house, right, you step into the world, but in your house, that's where you keep all the most sacred things in your life.
Your family. You
Right. So to me,
yeah.
it's intimate. So I feel great. And I still make phone calls. As a matter of fact, I have 2 listing appointments over the weekend.
Awesome.
Right? Because I still do produce to a degree, and a lot of it has to do with if I'm teaching my agents or telling my agents to do certain things, and if I don't do them, what the heck am I doing?
Sure.
So the whole thing is, don't be afraid to make these phone calls. So I feel great. If I have to dial, if I could dial 50 people a day, right, I would. Mm-hmm. But
you're pretty busy.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people just focus on, you have 100 leads. Great, you have 100 leads. So when you have that in your head, and this is something that we're doing at the office, we think for us, our capacity is to give somebody 10 leads, right? Mm-hmm. Because we're more interested in quality over quantity. I don't care how many people you call.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about the quality connections that you make. Mm-hmm. So having the right questions to ask and just having a conversation. Just having a conversation and let people know that, hey, at the end of the day, do I get hung up on? No, I'm not interested? Yeah, it does happen. Mm-hmm. But there's a few things that you do just to make sure that that call is a quality call versus a quantity call. Because sometimes you have 100 leads, you're like, oh, shit, I got to get through 100. Mm-hmm. And you're not focused on actually trying to make a connection.
Yeah.
Now, I understand the quantity versus quality, but sometimes because we're making phone calls or cold calls or to FSBOs or expireds, sometimes we need to have a dialer, or we need to sit there and dial hundreds to get, maybe a few before we get one on the phone.
Right.
And being able to be prepared to speak with that person with scripts or whatever you're going to talk about.
And exactly.
To engage them in a conversation, because with expireds, of course, they're going to be upset because they got 50 other agents calling them. With FSBOs, they're like, well, do you have a buyer? So being able to know your craft and master your craft is really the key. And the more you do it, the better you get.
Right.
Right.
Right. And I think one of the things, as far as a lot of the leads that we're able to call, are leads that have already reached out to either us directly or have reached out to an affiliate or partner that we have a relationship with. And those calls, we have some really good leads, which I'm very happy for. This is something that's transpired over the last few months. And a lot of it has to do with just recognizing the ingredients that are already around you, right? And again, that's just the power of how our offices operate, as far as everyone willing to share information with each other. I have a couple of offices. You walk in there, and they're probably going to ask you, "Hey, do you want to call some leads? You want to? All right, well, let's go over some scripting. Let's go over this, real quick." And it's just dynamic. It happens like that.
Awesome.
So, and again, we're cultivating this program, and we're pretty close to launching it just company wide. But we're keeping it. We're already doing it, but it's just a matter of packaging it and then being able to run with it.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm curious. Hey, Jeff.
I feel like I've been talking forever.
No, it's good.
man.
This is good for the agents who are listening. So I'm curious. I'm sure this is a question that Jeff's going to ask later, but I'll ask it now. For your top agents right now or top teams, what do you find them doing that's keeping them at the top? What are they doing that most agents aren't?
They're just consistent. They're consistent. They follow up in their CRM, and they just follow up. And if they follow up over 10 times, that's not uncommon.
Yeah.
Right? And just keep nurturing somebody. There's no such thing as when something goes into a CRM for one of our agents, they go into a bucket one way or another. So it just depends on the frequency of the contact. And of course, people are have the ability to unsubscribe or just remove themselves altogether. And of course, and that's the great thing about these systems.
Yeah.
As agents, they're just so complete. And as far as that, it's just that prospecting component. That's the biggest difference. Whenever an agent asks me, "Omar, what can I do for business?" We have our conversation and go see Dad. Go see Dad. So Jorge Quijada, he's a great realtor. He's our Chandler branch manager. We call it the DC branch, so downtown Chandler. So he's the branch manager there, but he's our dad as well. And when agents have that question, go see Dad. And if it's never that Dad can't help you, it's that you're not helping yourself. So, and it's all there. It's all there. So it's not rocket science what we do.
Right.
There's nothing groundbreaking. The data, capturing of the data, a lot of that could be groundbreaking with all these different, right? But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who has the data. It's like who's doing the work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
So,
So agents that are listening or watching, if they're interested in reaching out to you directly, how do they do that?
Join.xgreal.com. Join.xgreal.com.
That's the easiest
That's
way?
simple. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, don't call. No one answers their phones when it comes to recruiting anymore. If you want to buy or sell a home, yes, call us.
There you go.
But that's the easiest way, because when you go to that website, you're able to see some of the stuff that we do and we offer, and you're able to make your appointment to come see us. Yeah.
Cool.
I will buy lunch. I will buy coffee. So
There you go.
Sometimes I have these meetings. I let agents kind of choose what side of town, if they want to have coffee or lunch, and of course it has to get confirmed through my admin. She has the calendar, so she does all that. So just out of the blue, sometimes I'll get notifications that hey, you have an alert that somebody wants to meet. So it happens quick. But yes, we definitely have that information available if you go to that link. Yeah.
All right. And you guys use a lot of video. I know that. And you've also now started a podcast, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
How's that going? How can people find it if they want to listen in?
Well, on our Facebook page, that's where you'll see all the podcasts. Facebook.com/neXGen Estate. So at neXGen Estate, that's how my digital guy set it up.
Got it.
But we have all our podcasts there, and we have them on YouTube as well. So youtube.xgreal.com.
Yep.
So that's the link right now. So,
yeah,
but we have our podcast. We've done about 7 shows. They're a lot of work.
They are.
They're a lot of work.
They are a lot of work.
So even when you just do 20 or 30 minutes, it's a lot of work. But we go live. We do Facebook Live, and then we'll render it later. So one that we had Jessica on, she was a guest here. So Jessica Molina, one of neXGen's finest. Yeah. Oh yeah, she's amazing. Yeah. And the one that we did with her, we had some technical difficulty, so we had to restart it.
Yeah.
But when we actually rendered it and put it together, it just looked flawless. But it just came up when we had that break. You know how when you see like the old school TVs, when they'd be offline, you'd see the rainbow thing?
Yeah.
Sure.
And it would just do this fuzzy transition and boom, we're back, So it was just kind of, we did some kind of cool with that. So
No, that's cool.
Roll with it, right?
Yeah, and just roll with it. So,
We had, I had a class next door here, and Jessica was actually a topic of discussion because we did have her on the show and just talked about Facebook Live and how she was killing it on there.
Yeah.
And they're like, is her name Jessica or Jessica? We're like, no, it's Jessica. They go,
Yes.
oh, she changed her name, huh? Because it's all yes. You're gonna say yes to Jessica.
it's a beautiful thing, but she didn't change it.
I know. That's what I told her. I was
Right.
But that's actually something cool. Yes, say yes to Jessica.
Oh, she's got every component there is.
Yeah,
and as far as our podcast, just one of the things, our focus on our podcast, of course, part of it is real estate, but we've had community leaders on these shows as well because it's called neXGen Real Estate in the Community. The show is bilingual, so it's in Spanglish.
Oh, nice.
So we do some Spanish, some English, and we've had people on like my guy Anthony Estrada, who's an educator at Garfield Elementary. We've had a couple of loan officers on. Before we had Brenda, she made a quick cameo.
Brenda.
We've had other community leaders who work with DACA. I'm Latino, so I'm a member of NARUP, so I'm really big in that as well. This year I'm the director of government affairs. They created some fancy title for me, so I'm like, all right, that's cool. And we've had the commander of the Maryville precinct, so Commander Ed DeCastro. He was probably our best guest.
Really?
Police officer, and we'd ask them questions. We'd have them fill out like a show questionnaire, kind of like what you guys do. And some of the questions were, Dunkin' Donuts or Krispy Kreme. Oh, and he didn't hesitate. Oh,
Dunkin'.
Crispy for the coffee, for the donuts, and Dunkin' for the coffee.
That makes sense.
So, and just other, things that we asked him, and it was just such a intimate and personal conversation that we had with him. So, this bad man, right, who is in charge of so many officers, and he sees the worst of the worst, but best of the best, and it's such a impossible job to a degree that you do so many right things, right, and it's the bad stuff that ends up.
Everyone, right?
If you think about how many altercations or how many instances where an officer has to perform their duty day in and day out, how many thousands upon thousands of exchanges per day.
Yeah.
It's like, I still, I love the cops. So
Yeah, I watch Blue Bloods.
Oh, Blue Bloods, yeah. So anyhow, that's part of our show, neXGen in the community.
Yeah.
So we've had other community leaders on, and that's just part of it, because without the community, then, hey,
That's right.
what we do is
That's
meaningless.
right. Yeah. So for NARUP, you are let's see, we got to shorten that down, right?
This year, ending out this year, I'm the education director,
Okay.
which never really fit me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you don't look
But
like
the new one is director, or what is it?
It's the director of government affairs.
So you're the dogga.
The dog.
There you go. That's a
The
good one.
dogga. There we go. So
On the dog.
yeah.
All right. Wow. A lot of great information. Thank you.
No,
Yes.
thank you
This
guys.
is
I
awesome.
appreciate being on here. It's
This
crazy.
is actually
It's
your
been a
third
year.
time you're here. There was another time when you guys were, I think you were talking about NARUP.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, with Brenda. And then the first time was
Okay.
when you were with the 50. Yeah, I actually looked it up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I remember the other one, but
So. No worries.
Yeah, big shout out to Brenda, right?
Yeah.
Security
No, she's
title.
the best.
She does awesome. Are you ready to move on? You ready to get in the ring?
I'm. This is your house, man.
All right, let's get in the ring. What's the best advice that anyone's ever given you?
You asked me this last year.
Uh-huh. Has it
Best
changed?
advice anyone has given me, and it's just one of those questions. And I think as far as the best advice that anyone has given me, I'm going to change it up this time, and this is true. It's from one of my good friends, Carlos Reyes, because I was not on Facebook for a long time as a broker for personal reasons. And when I got back on a Facebook, the advice he gave me is, Omar, if you're not on Facebook, you don't exist, right? If you're not on social media in this industry, you don't exist.
Wow.
So as much as social media can be a love and hate relationship, right? It's just a matter of how you're able to manage it and feel good about it. So for him, that advice to me was priceless. If you're not on social media, you don't exist.
That's good. That's actually
that's
good.
my boy Carlos
really
Reyes, and I tell you, I got back on social media and back on Facebook because I was a stalker on Instagram. I would just stalk people and just kind of look and like and you know. And when I got back on a Facebook at that time, March of 2016, we had about 10 agents at that time, and he was right. And just the trajectory. Next, you know, just couple people see this, couple people see that.
Yeah.
And then by the end of 2016, we were up to almost 30 agents. So we had just grown like that. And a lot of it had to do with just being back on Facebook. So that advice, if you're not on social media, you don't exist. So anyone in real estate, and we have people that join the company and they're not on social media, and that's the first thing that we do is you know, when you go meet with Dad, that's one of the things that he highly, highly, highly suggests.
Gonna get you set up.
You don't have to put all your junk out there.
Nope.
Right?
Yeah.
Just talk about the stuff you need to talk about.
You have to be personal without being so personal.
Yeah.
There's a secret to it, and a lot of you guys have given me a lot of good tips as well, you know, through your training, because you guys have blessed us with great information, you know, for the company.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks.
So it's just a matter of how you handle it. So I think, you know, when I went back on a Facebook, I just had a different mentality about it. So,
Yeah. All right. You're right. You have answered a lot of these questions last time. So why don't we
change it up a little bit.
Yeah. So about
let's arm wrestle. Let's
coffee.
arm wrestle.
Oh,
Come on.
Yeah, we could probably do that.
Now you'll beat me.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know about that. So the coffee thing. What about yourself? Dunkin', McDonald's, or Starbucks?
You missed one.
Uh-oh. What did I miss?
If I feel like waiting, Dutch Bros.
I was about to say Dutch Brothers. Yeah.
I've
If I feel
never
like
been
waiting.
there. So.
If I feel like waiting, and you know, it's not that the line is like super, that it takes a long time. They're actually pretty fast.
Yeah, they are fast.
But when I see 10 cars ahead of me, it's like,
Yeah. And that's all. That's
I'll have to go get one of
and
these.
they're always so friendly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're a bunch of hippies. I love hippies. That's my goal. I'm 41 right now, and I tell people, you know, when I turn 50, I want to travel the world and live in different continents for a month at a time, for a few months, right?
There you go.
And then, when I retire, I'd like to buy a farm, a ranch, and just grow a bunch of stuff, have a bunch of animals, and live a good, you know, life. I'm a hippie at heart.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think we all are. But just
That's what I love about Dutch Bros.
funny.
I love the hippies.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all hippies, and they love it. They love when you call them hippies.
all right. How about you mentioned CRM several times. What CRM do you guys use?
We use Follow Boss.
Okay.
Yeah. So none of them are perfect, and any of them, you just got to learn how to use them, right?
Best
That's the
one is
biggest thing.
The one you use.
Yeah, exactly. The best one is the one you use.
Yep.
So I've played around with a few different ones, and this is the one that has felt the best, and it's just it checks a lot of the boxes of what we need.
All right.
So that's the one that we use.
All right. We'll have you draw the final question.
Oh, let's see here, Jeff. Nothing too personal, hopefully.
No, we can make up a
Or
question
hopefully.
too.
Yeah.
If you get the same question from last year, then yeah, we'll have to make
Let's
something
see
up.
here. Who is your favorite actor or actress?
Oh.
Well, you know, side note, I was actually, before I went full-time in real estate, and a lot of people close to me know this story. When the semester of 2005 ended, the spring semester, I had actually enrolled in the Los Angeles Film School. So I wanted to go screenwrite. I wanted to be on the production side. And I've written probably about 7 screenplays and a bunch of beat outlines. And this was all like from the time I got out of the military till 05. I loved writing. I wrote a book about my time in the military, which was over 1,000 pages, you know, easily. And 7 screenplays, a bunch of beat outlines, which are the beginning of screen. And I don't know what it was. I would just go. You know, I would just get this idea and I would just go. So, and I would enter them into the Nicole Fellowships competitions every year. So I don't win, but who knows? Well, you never know. You might
never
get a phone
know.
call. So,
Yeah.
because once you submit it, it belongs to them, right? But
Yeah.
you still get credit. But anyhow, so getting back to this question, hands down, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis. Okay.
Daniel
right.
Day-Lewis. I find someone better than him. I dare you. You won't.
Really?
Not even as much as I love Tom Hanks, as much as I love even DiCaprio. Trying to think of good female actresses, which there's so many of them.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's so many of them. What's her name? Miranda from The Devil Wears Prada. She's amazing.
Okay.
What's her name? Is it Meryl Streep?
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep.
yeah. Okay.
Anne Hathaway is great, but my favorite actor, hands down, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Day.
All
Okay.
right.
So you guys know who Daniel
Yeah,
Day?
yeah.
Everybody knows.
Well,
Who
here's a question for you: if you were to have a movie about Omar, who would you want playing you?
I want Joey Sampaga. Joey Sampaga. We'd have to have you in makeup for about 5 hours, and you'd have to eat for about 2 months
man.
straight. No more tamales. We'll get you
Hey,
there.
that sounds good.
I
to
want
me.
Joey Sampaga.
You hear that, Jeff?
Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
that. I hear it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
whatever. Oh, gosh.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you for joining again.
Oh no, thank
Coming
you,
on,
man. I
man.
just flew by. I don't know how much time we've taken, but
A lot.
This is always good information.
been
well,
good.
and it flies
Great
by.
information.
It does.
No, I appreciate it.
does
Thanks for
fly
having
by.
me, guys, and you guys do a great job. So, in a lot of the stuff that we do in our podcast, honestly, inspired by you guys, and it's something I had in my mind of doing, but I didn't like just the one angle camera, right? Just capturing the entire moment. I'm like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
But I don't know how to put up 5 different cameras. And then that one camera came out, and I was like, oh,
Yep.
I think we found a solution,
That's
right?
right.
Or at least for
Yeah.
a podcast. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's been great.
No,
so
that's awesome.
You guys have helped us out a lot.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Well, we're looking forward to how well you guys do in 2019.
Yes.
Because I have a
Yes.
feeling it's going to be a good year
You
for
guys are
you
gonna blast off.
You know, I have a good feeling about it, and you know, my attitude towards just about anything is like, you just don't get too high, don't get too low, right? Because
Consistency.
that's it. Because it doesn't matter who you are, where you are. Like, dude, it's not a fall. It's not a long fall to the bottom, right? I don't care who you are, how high you've gotten in life, and how successful you are, because it's never a long drop to the bottom.
That's right.
So,
I agree with
you know, with that said, like, don't be full of yourself, and that's my attitude. You know, I look at my agents and I see myself. You know, I don't see that I'm better than anyone. I'm just there to be of support, and
Yeah.
you know, they follow me, which is great. So they allow me to be their leader. So I just don't have this. I don't get too high. I don't get too low. And we're just gonna keep working. So you know,
Great
whatever
attitude.
we're doing, whatever we're
Yeah.
doing, it's working. So
Yeah.
I'm happy, and we're gonna keep pushing, keep grinding.
Cool.
Yeah.
I believe
Keep
it.
it going.
I believe it. Well, thanks again. Hey, you guys, until next time, this is Jeff Underwood.
And Joey Sampaga, who's going to play Omar Robles sometime soon.
All right. I like it.
Coming to no theater near you.
No, well, we'll strike a deal with Netflix. How
Yes,
about that?
we will do that.
Yeah, or Amazon. So
I think it's going to have to
whatever.
be self-produced.
There we go. We'll use the iPhone. These cameras are amazing.
Jeff is just mad because you picked me.
Well,
Oh, no.
Well, we can find. Well, Jeff could do something. We can find Jeff.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's a nice role for Jeff.
Great. All right, then. Well, we got to go now.
God
We'll see you
bless.
guys later. Take care.
Adios.